All right, so it is March 19th, 2020, and this is MELS 602 clinical coach session. Once again, welcome everybody. And as I said before, I hope everybody is in good shape. I hope you got everything that you need and your families are doing well. Tonight, we're going to talk about task stream, just kind of go over the task stream requirements and answer any questions. And that's kind of what I want to do first. I know there may be some questions on your mind with, with kids being out, with schools being closed, with focusing on getting packets out to students, to making sure they come in and get their lunch or pick it up through a drive-by, or gearing up for online learning session. And that does have an effect. I know that sent that email out from Dr. Lamb regarding some of those things and kind of where we're at. But first what I'll do is let's just see if there's any questions out there that I can help you with this evening. So anybody got any questions that we could go ahead and kick off the session with?
Yeah, I know we're getting kind of towards the end. When do we need to have our app tool completely finished, finalized, and sent to TaskStream?
Yeah, and that's a good question. I take the lead. I don't know what Dr. Neal and Dr. Burgess have told you. I'd give what we're in the 10th week. I think this is the 10th week. So I definitely within the next 2 weeks. The sooner the better. The longer a candidate might wait to get that in. There's some other people that are waiting to get it in as well. And it is a little bit different situation. I mean, it's not like you can have a PLC if nobody's in the building. It's not like you can, I'm not just talking about CO2, but all the other MELSs as well. So I know that has put a strain on how much you can do, when you can do it, but the sooner the better, because I feel like there is going to be a backlog just because of the nature of the situation that we're all dealing with right now. I think there will be a backlog on the evaluators getting that graded and put in. 605 candidates, there's a drop dead time that they have to have their stuff in because they're getting ready to graduate. But for you guys, like I said, next 2 weeks would be good getting that in. If you need some help with that, having some issues, let me know.
And I just had one more question. I got your email about submitting. I know we submit to you first for the review, and then you give us the okay, and then we send it to Dr. Neal, and then she marks it 100 or 50 or whatever she marks it. And then after we get that 100 from her, then we put it in your Dropbox. Is that how you each task?
Yeah, and I really appreciate that question, Eric.
I just want to make sure I was doing that right.
Yeah, and it is a really, really good question. And I think, each time I work with a different professor, they do it a little bit differently. And certainly the course instructor, that's they have to give you a grade. I'm just pass. The internship is just a pass fail, but I still have to collect those grades. So just for documentation purposes, for you for licensure. So if you send it to me and I say great, ready for evaluation, Dropbox, I'm not saying send it to Dr. Neal and you're done at that point. When I say send it to evaluation Dropbox, I'm talking about my Dropbox. I have got to collect that grade, just so, like I said, I can document for accreditation that that was reviewed and that was graded within the clinical experience, within the internship. Whenever you send it to Dr. Neal, or Dr. Burgess, just go ahead and send it to them whenever they ask for it. But I have got to collect that grade. Just put it in the review tab. We could do all this in the evaluation Dropbox. You could submit it the first time. I could give you a grade. I could give you feedback. You could change it. You could submit it again for another grade. But that's just too complicated for me. I can't wrap my mind around that as easy as I can. Okay, here we do all the cleanup stuff, get it in good shape. and then let's put it in the grade book and maybe just deal with it one time and get the grade on it. So,
I agree 100%. No, I'm fine with that. I just want to make sure that I was doing the process correct. Appreciate
well,
that.
it's a great question, and I really appreciate you sending it out. And I guess with everything else going on, maybe everybody could kind of sense my frustration level a little bit. It was not directed at any one candidate. For some reason, this semester there just seemed to be a lot of that going on. So, and now that I know that piece of the information, I appreciate you sharing with me. That kind of helps explain why there might have been some confusion. If I offended you or if I upset you, I apologize. And if this isn't good enough, I'll apologize over the phone. If that's not good enough, we'll meet somewhere. And as soon as the restaurants open back up, I'll buy you a cup of coffee and a donut and apologize to your face. So I do apologize if that was if that offended anybody.
No, I'm good. I don't know about others, but I was good. I just want to make sure I was doing that right.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate your patience with me. All right, any other questions? Internship hours, are we good on that? Dr. Hamilton and Dr. Lamb, that's put a good documentation. I was going to kind of go over that with you anyway. Now's a good time to get some unique internship hours. And you know, let's talk about the silver lining in this very, very, very gray cloud. You are at a unique point in time. There is nobody that has ever come through this program since its establishment that are dealing with the things that you're dealing with right now. This is a historical moment. You are getting some frontline charter member experiences in administration in a time that, you know, that many of us thought we would never see. I mean, it's like a science fiction movie, what's going on in the world right now. You can use that and speak to that as you go through the program and get out and start looking for a job as an assistant principal or as a principal or as a director, as someone in the central office. Talk about this experience. Talk about how you scrambled and worked with the principal to do some of those things, to be in the car line handing out lunch packets, or excuse me, lunches or breakfast, getting those packets together, working with the principal to orchestrate that, helping give your opinion on what is this online learning situation going to look like? What is remote learning? Even cleaning your room. You're dealing with some stuff that nobody else has dealt with before you. And this is a great opportunity. You know, like I said, we're looking for that silver lining to make the best out of a bad situation. The great opportunity for you to get some unique experiences that nobody before you has ever had, and document that well. I don't know what next week looks like. You may have already got direction from your superintendent in Wilkes County. I probably won't know anything until tomorrow afternoon. We've had some conversations, but nothing's definite, nothing's official, nothing, you know, can be made public at this time. You may be in the building next week. You may not be. You may be on a rotation where you work 2 days and somebody else 2 days 1 week, and somebody else works 3 days 1 week, and then the next week you work 3 days and they work 2 days. So, you know, as you go through the process and as this develops, continue to look for ways to get those hours in. If you see that you're not going to be able to get it in, if you come up short, let me know. We'll talk about it ahead of time. We'll do whatever we have to do to where this won't jeopardize you in the way of getting the grade and finishing out completing the 602 course and the internship hours that you needed to do now. So don't worry about that. Do what you can do. If you think you're going to fall short, let me know. Any questions I can help you guys with? All right. Well, if it comes up, ask them. At this point in time, I'm going to share and get into to TaskStream. I don't know if I had this last semester. Did I show you guys an example when you were in 601? Did I show you an example of a competency folio? It's a former candidate, and they did a really good job of designing their competency folio to look like a professional electronic portfolio. Did I show y'all that example last year? I don't think I had it, and I don't think I showed it to you this year. I'm going to share this with you. This is a former candidate. All right, like I said, this screen share on Zoom is a little bit crazy now. You should be seeing, at this point in time, you should be seeing an ERA Henderson competency folio. Is everybody seeing that? Thank you. Okay, great. This is what a candidate did with their competency folio. You can go in and you can design the background, color the hot buttons, you know, really form this any way you want to. And what she did after this is when she went on an interview for an assistant principalship, she published this and shared it with her interview person ahead of time. So they were able to go in here and see, well, you know, how's her writing skills? How's her documentation? How's her organization? How's her professionalism? Look at the artifacts. And it really helped her in her job interview and the interviews that go along with that after that, and having that and giving it to the interview committee or person ahead of time. Even here, she kind of highlighted, well, here's an example of a digital learning competency, where she just kind of wrote it in and highlighted it. And you can do this with yours too. Do you have to? No. Can you do just barely enough just to get the artifacts in there and be done with it? Absolutely. Can you just graduate, get it done, and then later go back in and you know and jazz it up? Absolutely. You're not going to lose access to this after Gardner Webb. So yeah, you can do all that then. Does not have to look like this. This isn't going to affect your evaluation one bit. Just wanted to show you what it could look like if you chose for it to look that way. So I wanted to give you an example of that, you know, and you've heard, you said, don't do any narrative, don't write anything in, you know, and she did here, and sometimes you have to. It's really yours, and make it your own. As far as getting the requirements satisfied for the competency folio, you just need to have the artifacts in there. If I have any question about why that artifact is in there, you know, as it come up last semester, I'll let you know. But that's just to give you a kind of a look as to what she has done with hers. If you want the link to look at it closer, you can. Dr. Lamb got permission from her to share this, to share the link, to share her portfolio, so you can take a look at it. Just kind of, you know, just to put your eyeballs. You make it your own, however you want to. But like I said, that's an option for you. I'm gonna close that out. All right, you should be seeing, let me go ahead. Right now, if you're not seeing it, I'm logging into TaskStream. Okay, there's my login. Everybody seeing that? Okay, maybe Zoom has redone what they did earlier, because this is like it used to be, so great. Okay, just to go over the TaskStream requirements real quick. Good news, which I've told you before, in your DRF and your direct response folio, the only thing you have to do is upload the APTL. You don't have to do a competency analysis. You don't have to do a school of ed disposition like you did last semester. All you got to do is upload the APTL, and you're done as far as the DRF. In the folio, we just talked about what it might look like. Talked about, you know, to include a narrative or a description, not to include a narrative or a description. That's up to you. I would ask that you know, it doesn't have to be anything major. You don't have to, you know, copy and paste your narrative, just a brief sentence or two. The people who are reviewing this for licensure don't want to get bogged down. This isn't my words. This is the words that were shared with me as a professional development at Gardner Webb. Don't want to get bogged down reading the narrative. They're just looking for the artifacts. That's what they're looking for to grant you the license. What I'd recommend that you do is I recommend that we do like we did last semester. You pull up these competencies and you go through each competency looking for the ones that are applicable to the APTL. I thought I was going to mess that up trying to say it, but actually I did pretty good. All right, communication isn't one, change management's not. Okay, here we go. Here's our first one, conflict management. Now, within the APTL, and I think this is a good opportunity to show some of those things. You're talking about teacher empowerment, shared decision making, efficacy. The conflicts arise. We've all sat in the faculty meeting where it got a little contentious, got a little bit of disagreement going on. How was that handled? Were you able to kind of solve any of that? Doesn't have to be anything negative. What you're doing right now in the schools is all about conflict management. You are managing this conflict, dealing with this virus, and getting these kids the resources and the help they need. So that's a perfect example. Go through creative thinking is the next one, and you have had to think creatively, I'm sure, in getting your internship hours in over the last few weeks. Customer focus. Anyway, go through each of them, pull out the APTL, make sure that you know everyone that's an APTL that's in there, load an artifact up from your APTL for those competencies. Any questions?
I have a question just to clarify. When we upload something, it needs to be directly from the APTEL, or can it be from our internship experience as well?
That's a great question.
I know you answered this last time, but I don't remember.
That's okay. Let's go back to one. Where were we? Conflict management. Okay. In conflict management, if you want to upload something from your clinical experiences or your internship experience, let that be your open-ended. You can choose to do that at any given time. You don't have to wait on that. But one day, if it says APTL, then you need to find something within that APTL that's an artifact for conflict management. If you want to go ahead and put your open-ended in there, and that's why they did that. That's why they gave you that kind of a wild card, because you may be doing some great stuff that really doesn't fit into any of the evidences. But once again, at the end of the day, this is your electronic portfolio. If you want to highlight something that you did that doesn't play into the evidences, put it in the open-ended, make it an open-ended section. You don't have to label it open-ended. It does help me when I review, especially when you get into MELS 605, this artifact is from the APSL, this artifact's from the APTL, this artifact's open-ended. If you designate that, it does help me and the reviewer looking through that. And then again, once you graduate, you keep this, you can change it however you want to and put some other stuff in there. And that's another thing, Jenny. The minimum is 3, one from the APSL, one from the APTL, one open-ended, but you can put as much as you want to in there. It does not have to be 3. It can be 4, 5, or 6, as long as there's one coming from those evidences that's listed here. And then you can have 4 or 5 open-ended if that's what you choose to do. And that's fine.
Thank you.
Oh, certainly. Thank you.
Dr. Bullis, you mentioned the only thing we have to upload on the DRF is the APTEL. Do we still have to do the internship log over there as well?
Great question. Yeah, at the bottom of this, and I appreciate you asking that, Scott. I will need to take a look at your internship log. Don't get confused. Like I said, it happens all the time, and it's okay if it does. If you there's 2 places you can upload internship logs. In the DRF, you'll notice at the very bottom, internship logs. That's for evaluation. That is when it's put in there, it's locked in, and you get a grade on it in regards to passing and getting licensure. You don't want to put your internship log in that until at very end of the program. So I say that to you, sometimes you're like, well, maybe you shouldn't have said that, because now they know where it's at and somebody's going to drop something in there. If you do, that's fine. We got a way to remedy that. But do not do that. That's not for feedback. That's for evaluation. Getting feedback on your internship log each semester is done within the competency folio. Each semester, and that's fine if you want to wait till the last week to do that. The main thing is get your APTL in and get it to the evaluator. That's the main priority. The second priority would be to work on your competency folio, making sure that you got all the artifacts that you collected this semester in the appropriate competency. The third priority would be to upload your internship log, saving it to the end, because once again, give yourself opportunity to collect all those hours. That has to be 80. They can be more, but they have to be 80. And it's not for evaluation, it's just for feedback. At the end of the program, you'll have five uploads here for each one. If you keep a running log, that's fine, that'll work too. If you want to separate your log per semester, that's fine too. But yes, sir, that's for feedback. Because once you get all your artifacts in, once you upload your internship log, you're going to go up here. And I'm trying to remember how to do, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Let me move this, I see everybody's face. I'm gonna move that over. Okay, you don't go to publish share, but once you upload whatever you want to this semester, your internship log and all your artifacts, you go to comments, not publish share. If you wanna share it with somebody and give them permission to view this, like an interview committee or interviewee, then yeah, that's what you use, publish share. But if you're looking for feedback, which you are required to get feedback from me every semester, because I've got to check and make sure that you're on track to have it all in. You've heard me say this before, I'll probably say it again, just like I do many things. You don't want to wait till 6:05 to get this in good shape. You don't even want to wait till 6:04 to get this in good shape. Work on it each semester, get it done for that semester, and then if you try to do this when you're in 6:04 and 6:05, it's going to be a mess, and you're going to be overwhelmed trying to get it done. So continue to keep it up to date. Once you get something in there that you want me to look at, click on comments. Okay, I'm going to have to move your pictures over again. All right. I'm sorry. Gosh, this is these pictures. I'm gonna put it right in the middle. Like, I know y'all can't see this, but I got everybody's picture over here on the side, and I'm having to move you around. Request comment. Click on request. First you click comment, then you click request comment. Whatever you've put artifacts into, just click on those. Don't click on request comments on all areas, because you haven't put artifacts in all areas. Just the ones you put in for the APTO. I think we looked at conflict management. I think we looked at creative thinking, and then the others that follow. Just put those in, just click on those, and then click continue. Find my name. It might be, I don't know how it looked. I never got any feedback from anybody, but I didn't ask for it either on what it looked to you last semester. But my name may be the only name that you see. There may be several there, but you just find my name, click on that, and click continue, and then continue on with the process. I'm not going to click continue, because then I'll get an email from myself asking me to give feedback. That's when I know that something's been uploaded. It's when I pull in, I'll get in red letters, comments requested. If I don't go in and check task stream, it doesn't send me an email to my email address letting me know you uploaded something. So if you put some artifacts in there, you've requested comments, and you're ready for me to go in and take a look at it, just send me a quick email. As we get closer to the end of the semester, I'll probably check it every day, and then I'll see them. But if you're doing it before then, you want me to go ahead and take a look at it now, or your internship hours, just send me a quick email saying I posted some things in TaskStream and the competency folio. Will you take a look at it? All right, so any question?
I'm sorry, I have one more question on internship hours.
Yeah.
Just rolling over into the summer on whatever our summer class is, and with the situation that we are in now with building hours, and who knows what's going to happen for some of our districts. Where can we begin summer? Is it 80 hours in the summer? And where can we begin doing that?
That's another great question. It is 80 hours in the summer. As far as Joe Bullis is concerned, and I'll be the one signing off, I sign off on your internship hours. After the last day of this semester, you can start to log hours, because you'll need that extra time to get the 80 in. A lot of times when I was doing this, we had to log internship hours too. I remember what I did is after the work days, I volunteered the principal. I said, I'm going to be here every day for a week for a total of 80 hours if need be to get all those done. And I got them all knocked out for the summer in 1 week. I mean, I moved textbooks, I filed files, I met with custodians, looked at bus routes, helped with scheduling, and I logged them all in. And if you can do that, you know, that's fine. I know many can't because of other obligations. But as soon as the last day is over with this semester, you can go ahead and start logging hours for the summer. So I will take those after the last day. Now, if you get, and once again, if you got some things in mind, you get your 80 hours right now. If you can put a pause on that for this semester, go ahead and put a pause on that. If you got some other activities in mind later, then why don't you wait and do that right after this semester ends, and then you can put that onto your summer internship. And I always attending board meetings, press conferences, and stuff like that. That's all stuff that you can log as well. Any questions? Okay, one of the things you need to focus on, number one priority, get your APTEL done. All the tasks completed, ready to go into turning in, ready to go to task stream, ready to go to the evaluator sometime within the next 2 weeks. Second priority is pull all those artifacts out of the APTEL, any open-ended artifacts you have, find the competencies that are applicable, load them up as you get towards the end of the semester. Continue to work on your internship hours. That's your third priority. If you have problems with those internship hours, you don't think they're going to happen, and it doesn't look like you're going to have much opportunity in the summer, let me know. Question, I think this came up in that email. Can I go if my district is closed and another district is open and I got a friend in another district, can I go over there and log hours? No. You can only log internship hours within your district. Could log internship hours depending on the situation and what you're doing at a different school. So if that's an option for you and that's going to help you, let me know. But we'll have to go through Dr. Lamb, make sure he's good with it and everybody knows and understands what's going on if that's the situation. Just stay in touch with me on that. Stay in touch with me on that. All right, it's 7:28. That's all that I've got, unless there's anything else you want me to go over. All right, guys, be careful. I mean, I know you're tired of hearing wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands, and all the other stuff. I'm tired of hearing it too. But just stay healthy. Just stay healthy and use common sense. It's like I said, man, it's an unprecedented time, and I think we're all just kind of, trying to process it all. But just be smart, be healthy, and don't forget to check in on your kids. Make sure they're okay and they got what they need. I can't say that enough either. I'll be praying for you guys, do all the time. Hope you all stay safe and your families are safe and healthy. If you need anything, just shoot me an email or a phone call or we'll Zoom. Take care. Thanks for attending tonight.